What's up guys, my name is Devin and welcome back to another episode of Footballrs. In today's video, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the New Balance Prodigy football cleats. Alright guys, so here are the cleats. These are the New Balance Prodigy skill football cleats. As you guys can see, they came in a very nice bag. Haven't seen a bagged pair of football cleats since like Nike's 2014 days, but this is pretty cool. So you have kind of a gold New Balance logo there, and then it does say first edition, and it's like a soft, nice material as well. You guys can kind of see the texture there. A very nice premium feeling bag for the first edition of the New Balance Prodigy. Let's get them out of the bag and see what's up. Here is the first one, and here is number 2. Regarding the bag, I'm not sure if these come with every single pair of cleats. I hope that they do. I don't really know. This might just be kind of something they include when they see these two people like me to kind of check the cleats out. So I'm not sure if you guys will get this bag or if they'll come in a standard box, but I'm going to show you guys exactly what I got. And it was a bag, and here are the cleats. So here are the cleats here. Again, these are the New Balance Prodigy. New Balance is back in the football game, and this is going to be their low top skill football cleat. I don't really know anything about these cleats. I haven't really done too much research into these. Of course, they're brand new, so this is going to be a true first impression, first look at these football cleats, and let's check them out. First thing I'm going to do is take this paper out so I can get a good feel of the cleat. And oh, there's more paper in there. There we go. So now that the paper is out, we can get a good look. Let's start with the upper. So the upper on these is like a thicker synthetic material. It's pretty thick. You guys can kind of see how it reacts to me kind of putting some pressure on it. It bounces right back, but it is a thicker material. Definitely reinforced kind of all the way throughout, which is pretty interesting. Tongue on these is one piece, so there's no independent tongue. It's kind of like a booty system that we've seen on a lot of cleats lately. It's just kind of one piece all the way through, and it is a stretchable mesh knit material, which is very nice. The toe portion here does have kind of an even thicker material here, so it's clearly reinforced, so these should be very good when it comes to durability. And then this part right here is a little bit reinforced as well, which is great for that kind of side-to-side support as you play football. Kind of need that. The upper material on these is very stiff. You guys can kind of see by me just kind of messing with it a little bit. On the inside of the heel here, it does say a couple different things. We have an ASYM counter. I'm not really sure what that is. And then we have Phantom Fit, which is, I'm sure, this kind of fit system they have going on. Of course, I have not done any research like I mentioned. In the full review, we'll have all that info. And then you do have a nice little New Balance N right there at the bottom. And then you have the big kind of silvery chrome New Balance on the inside. And then the same deal on the outside, and a little New Balance script here on the side. Like I mentioned already, this tongue here is a nice soft material. It looks like it'll breathe pretty well. You guys can see my finger through there. And then the inside of the cleat is all that mesh material all the way through. Let's check out the insole. I mean, New Balance is kind of notorious for having comfortable shoes. Let's see how the cleats are. And ooh, this is a nice insole. It's got a good amount of spring to it. It does kind of have raised edges, so it'll kind of lock your foot in there. And then the foam itself is on the thicker side for a skill football cleat, which is nice to see. You guys can kind of see how thick it is there and just the overall structure of the impact foam. So that'll be kind of nice to see how that works and see if it lives up to the hype of other New Balance footwear. Now this is pretty cool. Underneath that insole, check out this kind of interesting, I think it's a plastic shank. Yeah, we have a plastic shank that kind of runs through. Kind of reminds me of the Nike Vapor Edge line, how they have that plastic shank with the grid built into it. It's kind of a similar concept here. The cleat is incredibly stiff, so that definitely is going to play a role in just how stiff this football cleat is. Can't wait to review that part. That'll be cool. Now, along with the insole, you do get a little bit of padding in the heel. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. It's definitely pretty bare bones padding. You do kind of see what we got going on there. Not a ton, and then in the heel, you're really up against this heel cup, which is pretty common in football cleats, but it can get pretty uncomfortable if you're not used to it. Let's see, the lacing system goes directly into this upper here. No fancy lacing system. You tighten these up. It's just going to kind of hug, secure your foot like any other traditional footwear. Of course, this colorway is kind of just a white and silver colorway. I'm not sure if this is the first edition colorway or what. It looks pretty good. The lacing is white and gray. And then again, the chrome logos and the silver details all the way throughout. Ooh, on the heel here, we have a little logo. It says New Balance, which makes a lot of sense. And then down here at the bottom of the tongue, we have another New Balance logo, which is pretty cool. The next thing I want to talk about is the traction plate. Now, this is a very interesting looking traction plate. It kind of reminds me of a soccer cleat where the studs kind of are placed. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 studs up in the front, and then 4 in the rear. It's kind of tough to see with the white on white, but the shape of these studs is unique. This is something we haven't seen before on a pair of football cleats. I don't even know what to call this shape. I guess you could call it a T shape. It almost looks like the Tesla logo, but a little bit skewed. And then in the front here, you have 4 kind of arrow teeth. So these are going to help kind of get that movement started there with each step. And then they kind of have tiers to them. I don't know how well you guys can see, but there's different depths to the tread, or different depths to the spikes, so that's pretty cool. That'll kind of help work with you on multiple different types of grass or turf, and you get that treatment on every single stud. So that extra little bit right there, that extra bit of tooth is going to help dig you out a little bit quicker and get you in and out of cuts, no problem. Now these two pieces on the sides seem to be separate from the actual traction plate, so this kind of is reminiscent of the edge plate. The studs are kind of way out to the outside and it's a separate piece, and you kind of have this white piece kind of going up around just to give you a little bit more bite on the side there, and then again 2 more on the medial side of the cleat as well. And again, these studs are very unique. It's not something we've ever seen before. It looks pretty cool. And you do have a little New Balance logo kind of hidden in there, and then this kind of cool texture design here, and then super smooth. There's a huge cutout here. I don't know how well you guys can see, but it has kind of a nice little frame here kind of going through. And then, like I said, that big cutout, and then 4 more of those interesting shaped studs in the rear, and then a big cutout in the back. A lot of cleats tend to have kind of a little bit of a piece on the heel, but this doesn't have anything like that, so that'll be interesting to see kind of how that feels and reacts with the ground. I'm not sure how well you guys can see, but there's a black material in there. It's a little bit different. It seems to be, yeah, it's a little bit of foam, so it's a little bit padded kind of in there. So that'll be nice on the sides of your foot, so when you're cutting, your foot's kind of smashing against the side of the cleat. That should offer a little bit of comfort and security while you make those cuts, and it shouldn't feel too harsh on you, which is always nice. And overall, it just looks like a nice, lightweight, low-cut cleat, typical booty, nice thick upper, plenty of support side to side. This is a brand new traction plate that we've never seen before, so I'm very excited to see kind of how this reacts and how it feels. Of course, New Balance is kind of back in the football game after being out of it for a very long time, but these things look up to par with everything else on the market, so I'm very excited to test them out and see how they perform. Let's do it.
Today's video is sponsored by Prolific Sports Labs and the makers of the NXT FootGuard 2.0. Now, we already made a video about the FootGuard 2.0, so if you want to learn more about this product, definitely check that out first. Getting your foot stepped on by teammates in practice absolutely sucks. I was a lineman for 10 years and I lost 6 toenails from guys just stepping on my feet in practice. And foot injuries are super common in all positions across football, but especially linemen. Well, this is the NXT FootGuard 2.0, and it aims to solve that problem. It's a high-quality product made of 2 carbon fiber plates sandwiched between a nice cushiony foam against your foot and a thick, dense foam on the top that helps absorb the impact from cleats. The NXT FootGuard 2.0 uses 2 straps, one around your heel and one underneath your arch, to secure this plate to any type of cleat. It works with skill cleats, high top cleats, and mid top cleats. It comes in white and black and multiple different sizes depending on what size cleats you have. When it gets dirty, just pop the pad out, make sure to hand wash it, air dry it, pop the pad back in, and you're good to go. There's no reason to risk foot injuries in practice, and that's why you should check out the NXT FootGuard 2.0. To learn more, you can watch our full video where we explain more, or just check out the links in the description down below for Prolific Sports Labs website. All right, back to the video.
Now that you guys have watched the full unboxing first impression, it's time to review these. The things we're going to look at in the review portion of this video is going to be the comfort, the fit and support, the traction, the style, what position these are for, and of course the price. The first thing we're going to talk about is the comfort. When I first heard that New Balance was making a football cleat, my expectation was that they were going to be super comfortable, but that was not the case. These cleats are very stiff all the way around, and they started to hurt my feet pretty quickly. For starters, the upper on these is their Phantom Fit. It's a thick, multi-layer synthetic material that offers plenty of support, but the material doesn't really move around as much as I'd like, which made the toe box feel extremely cramped. These cleats do have an internal booty that feels pretty good and hugs your foot, and they also have an extra bit of material on the sides of your cleat, which felt pretty nice as well. The tongue, however, was way too thin and didn't offer enough cushion on the top of my foot. I kept feeling the laces kind of digging into the top of my foot, and that was the worst part of my testing process. It was super duper uncomfortable. I also wish they added more padding in the heel. You can really feel your foot pushed all the way up against the heel cup, and the sides of the ankle collar dig in right underneath your ankle bone, which also was pretty uncomfortable. These do have a nice New Balance fuel cell insole that feels pretty good underfoot and provides a nice cushion. Also, I'm kind of nitpicking with this, but these were way too hard to get on. I do wish they had some sort of heel loop or something to help slip them on a little bit easier. Overall, these felt incredibly bare bones and they were stiff in pretty much every aspect. They were definitely not as comfortable as I expected them to be as a cleat coming from New Balance. The next thing we're going to talk about is the fit and support. Now, the fit and support on these is some of the best we've seen in a true skill football cleat. They do fit true to size, but they were pretty tight all the way around. They do offer these in a wide fit if the regular fit is a little bit too narrow for you guys. And like I mentioned, the toe box feels a little bit cramped, but some of you guys might like that. I personally like to have a little bit of wiggle room. For the upper, like I mentioned earlier, these have New Balance's Phantom Fit, It's a multi-layer material that is thick and offers lots of support. Also inside the cleat, these have a little bit of added material on the side, which really helps with the side-to-side movement and the overall support of the cleat. The side-to-side support on these is really good. Your foot really feels locked into place when you're making cuts, which is nice. The cleat truly feels like it's part of your body. As a true low-cut football cleat, these don't have any ankle support whatsoever, but you do get a small bit of padding in the heel, but honestly, it's not enough in my opinion. Overall, these are a tight-fitting, raw-feeling football cleat with more side-to-side support than any true skill football cleat on the market. The next thing we're going to talk about is the traction. The plate on these is built from a nylon and TPU material and is one of the stiffest plates on the market. Below the insole, these have a plastic shank similar to the Nike Vapor Edge plate that makes the plate super springy and really strong. As far as studs, you've got 10 in the front and 4 in the rear. 6 of the 10 in the front are a unique T-shape. These T-studs have several different depths and make it so easy to stop on a dime and get up to speed quickly. They are honestly some of the most innovative studs we've seen on the channel, and they work wonders. You also get 4 arrow studs in the front, which help a lot with the acceleration, and then in the rear, it's 4 more T-studs. The plate itself works really well when I tested it on long grass, but because of the depth of the studs, I think they do just as well on turf as well. I honestly feel like this is already one of the best traction plates on the market because of the raw feel and how easy it is to change direction in these. Overall, I'm a huge fan of this traction plate, especially the super innovative T-studs. The next thing we're going to talk about is the style. I think these are pretty smooth. The silhouette on these is very clean and simple and has a couple nice details as well. The chrome end logos on the side, the silver stripes, and the smaller end logo on the side of the heel. Also, I love this little New Balance logo at the bottom of the tongue. There's not a ton of crazy details or crazy colors. It's just a nice looking, classy looking football cleat. As of right now, there's only 2 colorways, this white pair and then a black pair. Hopefully they add more soon, but this is the first football cleat from New Balance in quite some time, so give them some time to get some colorways together. But overall, it's a very clean looking football cleat. The next thing we're going to talk about is what position these cleats are best for. These are a skill football cleat. These are going to be best for the fastest guys on the field, QBs, running backs, wide receivers, and defensive backs. These are an excellent option for someone who wants something lightweight, supportive, but is perfect for that straight line speed as well. The next thing we're going to talk about is the price. The retail on these is $170. Now, $170 is certainly a little bit steep for a pair of skill football cleats, but they do have a bit of a premium feel. The materials on these are high quality, and you can tell they've been jam-packed with a lot of innovation that we talked about already. Now, I'm not sure if they're worth that $170 price tag, but for a pair of New Balance football cleats, I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there who might disagree with me on that. Overall, in my opinion, it's a good pair of football cleats, but I think $170 is just a tad high for these. Overall, these are a solid pair of skill football cleats. They have a really raw feel to them, and honestly, they were not that comfortable, but they do have some of the best fit and support of any true skill cleat we've checked out on the channel. And then the traction plate is also one of my favorites. It's one of the best we've tested. I love these T-studs. I think this is a really good traction plate. They look pretty good, but that $170 price point just seems a little bit high for me. You guys let me know in the comments below if these are worth the $170 price tag, and if any of you guys have tried these cleats out for yourself, let me know your experience in the comments below. There you guys have it. There's the full unboxing review on the New Balance Prodigy football cleats. I'm super pumped to see New Balance kind of step into the football space once again. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, like the video, comment what you guys want to see us do next, and subscribe for videos just like this one. My name is Devin, and thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Footballrs. Boom!